Career planning is really just connecting our interests and abilities to the world of work. It's finding out what we like to do and discovering a career path that moves us in a direction that pays us to do what we are gifted at and enjoy doing. Career planning takes your interests, abilities, and skills and matches them to potential opportunities to earn a living. There are so many places to start. How do you like to spend your time? Do you like to be inside or outside? Do you like to be around people or do you prefer to be alone? Do you like to work with your hands or do you like to read and continually learn? All of these things are important to consider as you start to consider a career plan. Ask successful professionals what contributed to their success and the likely answer that they love what they do.
I think it's important when you choose a career path that you think about what you're good at. What do you enjoy?
Certainly in the FBI, we have a whole variety of people, a whole variety of career paths. And one of the things that you notice is it's really important, first and foremost, to do something you enjoy doing. So if you don't like what you do, if you don't enjoy what you do, then you're not really, I think, ever going to be truly successful because it's not in you. The passion isn't there.
I think it's important for students to ask themselves questions like, do I like competing? If I'm an athlete and I love competition, well, there's going to be a certain age in my life when I can't play competitive sports, but I can still work in a career field that's competitive. If I'm not competitive, am I leading myself into a competitive field where I'm not going to be happy?
Figure out what those things are that hit your heart, because money follows excellence. Money follows you being the best you can be at the things you love.
We all have unique interests, abilities, and talents. Some of us are creative, while others of us enjoy math and science. One consideration we should all ask is, what subjects do we enjoy in school? And what careers might align with what we already enjoy? People who are successful are energized by what they do and enjoy the purpose that they do it for.
What makes you successful in your career is dedication to your craft, whatever it is. So if you're going to become a doctor, great. Go learn all you can about it. Try to get as much information you can to become better and better every single month.
The first thing I think that makes somebody successful in their career is to be awesome at what you do. And whether that's a high-level executive position or whether that's a line-level employee, it's to be the best that you can be in that particular position.
We are fortunate to have people who can help us get started. Check with your guidance counselor to see what career planning tools are available. There are lots of websites and resources to help you discover a career path to consider. It's important to use these resources and start looking for options that work for you. People don't become successful by accident. Most people who succeed start by doing the things we're already talking about and then continue to learn, grow, and adjust their plan as their careers develop.
Absolutely. Hands down, successful people have a plan, and they start out with one plan, but they're not afraid to adapt that plan.
So there's a saying that chance favors the prepared mind, and so I think that's what I would recommend to people: be prepared.
I've never met a successful person who didn't know at some point what they wanted to do or where they wanted to be, what goals they had in life. And it changes. It can change. It's fine to change it. But generally speaking, successful people always have a plan.
I believe that if you are trying to be successful, then you've always got to be a constant learner. You've got to take feedback well. You've got to know where to find the right answers, and you've got to be willing to fail.
Another great resource is people. People who can help you think through career options you might be considering. Take advantage of an adult mentor, a school teacher, or school counselor who can help you think through things you might not even be considering. At this point, you should be selecting a couple of career clusters or groups of careers you might be considering. Our hope is that this series is helping to prepare you for your future. The next session will talk more about how to represent yourself as you talk with counselors, human resource personnel, and career representatives at JA Inspire. It's your career and your future. Take advantage of the opportunities we're learning, and you too can be successful and fulfilled.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. And while you were watching that video, as well as the first video, I hope that you're beginning to identify some things that might interest you, whether it is a picture of a career field or whether it's the words of some of the experts that are talking to us. I hope that your mind is beginning to start having those thoughts about what is it that I might want to do and how do I go about finding that career. Here in lesson 2, we're going to begin developing a career plan. And what that means is we're going to start trying to identify areas that we're interested in, and then we're going to look at different career fields. There will be a few activities to do here in this lesson prior to getting on to the Career Fair website. So here are some questions that you can begin asking yourself. Do I like to be outside or do I prefer to be inside? Do I like to work with people or do I prefer to work alone? Do I like to work with my hands? Do I prefer reading and learning over other activities? Am I competitive? Do you see yourself as being creative? Do you prefer math and science to other subjects? And there is a series of other questions that you could ask yourself as a self-assessment to try to figure out what is it that I really like to do. And why is this important? As we talked about in the first video, finding careers that line up with your personality will not only make you happier in your career choice, but will also make it more fulfilling and you will probably become more successful at it. For example, if you're not a person who likes to be outside, finding a career that is takes you mostly outdoors would not be something that you would probably want to do on a long term. So taking some times to look at these questions and again, doing a self-assessment on what is it that you like to do is an important first step in developing your career plan. Now, we're going to do this activity, not at this point, called making a match. And this is where you're going to look at some of your skills and interests in the context of this JA Inspire event and start trying to identify those areas that you would really find interesting. So you're going to choose 3 companies where you have an interest and you're going to research those companies online or from some type of printed material that you may have already gathered from different areas. I would like for you to break into pairs and to take turns telling each other why these companies attracted you and what is it that you really like about it. Now, again, if you are in person and you can do this safely with social distancing, I would encourage this type of interaction. If you're not able to do it safely with social distancing, then please do not do that. If you are remote learning and you are finding that you are at home by yourself, take the opportunity to write these things down and maybe you can share it with one of your co-students at a later date, or it's something that you could discuss with your guidance counselor, or even something you could discuss with your teacher. If you are in a setting where you are either doing Zoom calls or Google Meets or you're actually in person, when we are finished with this, maybe a few volunteers would take the opportunity to tell the entire group about the companies and careers that most interest you. Sometimes by sharing like that, you're able to help others and think of things that maybe they had not thought about on their own. But again, we're going to do this at the end of this lesson. You've heard the term career clusters, and what does a career cluster mean? What that means in the JA Inspire is that we have taken different careers from all over and we have put them into these 5 different categories: health sciences, communications and information systems, businesses, marketing and management, human resources, human services and resources, and industrial manufacturing and engineering systems. So when you hear that term again, career cluster, this is where careers have been categorized into one of these 5 different areas. And we're going to go over the areas at this time. So in health sciences, some additional questions that you could ask yourself is, do you think you might like to help people who are feeling sick? Understanding how the body works and are fascinated by the biological systems. Do research or you get at a hidden object games. Solve health problems using science and technology. Again, there are additional questions you could ask yourself, but these are a few that might lend yourself to maybe I would be interested in a career in health sciences. Our next slide shows a variety of career fields that would go under health sciences. Obviously, doctor, nurse, There's the dental hygienist. You can see veterinarian. I actually have veterinarian on there twice. Speech therapist. There are microbiologists. These are all career fields that would go into the health science category. The second one is communication and information systems. And again, additional questions for you to ask yourself. Do you think you might like to write code to help solve problems using technology? Connect people to technology as a system to accomplish goals. Share stories through various multimedia formats. Design, produce, perform visual and performing arts. And then this next slide, sorry about that. This next slide is going to show you areas and career fields that would fall under communication and information systems. And you can see where this has everything from a web designer to a film producer to electronics engineer or hardware engineer designer. As I go to this next slide, I forgot to tell you, in your student guide, which you can find online, you can find all of this information and these career questions and these career fields on page 7, 8, and 9 of your student guide. So if this is going too quickly, that is a resource. You can go back and you can look at this exact information on there. So our third area is business marketing and management. Again, some questions to ask. Do you think you might like to organize and plan ways to accomplish work efficiently? Work with people to help them plan financially for their future. Lead teams to accomplish tasks and goals. Analyze financial performances or statements. And again, this next slide has a variety of different career fields that would fall under the business, marketing, and management area. The fourth one is human services and resources. Do you think you would like to help others understand new information or learn a new skill? And this could have to do with children or this could have to do with adults. Keep people safe in their communities. Help others who may be in legal trouble. Help others who need to support have assistance or advice. And as we go to this next slide, we can see that under this area, everything falls from a lawyer, a police officer, a firefighter, an ambassador, a paralegal. There's so many different areas and diversity underneath human services and resources on what it is that you might be interested in. The next category is industrial manufacturing and engineering services. So do you think you would like to design, build, plan, or maintain buildings, roads, or other structures? Design, plan, build, or maintain systems like plumbing or HVAC. Design or support the productions of goods like cars or dishwashers. Build, maintain, or operate equipment like forklifts, robotics, or mega trucks. So this is in the industrial, manufacture, and engineering cluster. And again, as different careers that fall underneath here: engineer, manager, plumber, maintenance technician, a bricklayer, a stonemason, and there are many others other than just right here. And again, as a reminder, you can find all of this information on pages 7, 8, and 9 of your student guide. So going back to the activity for lesson 2, again, take this and choose 3 different companies. If you're not completely sure of the companies, you could choose the career field. For instance, if you wanted to become an attorney, you can research that without necessarily researching a law firm. But take the opportunity. Obviously, this is not something that can be done in a short amount of time, but hopefully you can either do this at home or find time in the classroom to do this research and then take the time to share with one another those things that you have discovered and you've learned for yourself. So remember, this is the end of this lesson 2 of the PowerPoint, is that you can be anything that you want to be. As you look through those career fields, don't ever say to yourself, that's not something that I can accomplish. You absolutely can accomplish and become anything that you want to be. I'm going to transition into getting you ready to be on the VFair site. So the next thing you're going to see will be the site that has the actual career exploration fair on it. I'm going to show you how you can get on the VFair site and just a little bit about that site. Here on the student section of the JA Inspire
JAinspireOK.org website, when you scroll down, just like you do to get to your videos and your additional information, there's two different tabs here. Here's the VFair site, and this one is the instructional video. This is a longer instructional video that will give you very detailed information about how to navigate the VFair site. I'm simply going to give you some short little pointers, and if you need additional information, please come back to this site and do this instructional video. Again, you're going to click here to go to the VFair site, and this is going to take you to this landing page. Here is the logon. When you click on logon, you're going to log on one of two different ways. Either your school has given us your school email, and that is going to be your logon, exactly your school email address, or we have created a non-working email format for you to use that your teacher and your school will give to you, they'll assign to you. So either way, this is going to be some type of email format for you to be able to log on. So you're going to click on log on, put in your email address, and it's going to take you to this site. This is the outside of the building for the career fair. All of these signage that you see here on the outside are companies or sponsors of the event that made it possible for you to be able to participate in this. You're going to click on the building, and when you click on the building, it will take you directly into the lobby. There's a welcome video here that we would like for you to watch. And then you can see here where it says auditorium and it says hall over here. The auditorium is going to take you to just that, to the auditorium. And if you click here on the video part, there are multiple videos for you to be able to watch. There's some from our state representatives. There's also just some good resource information in these videos. To go back to the lobby, just click on lobby, and then you can enter the halls one of two ways. You can click on hall, or you can click the exhibit hall up here on this top banner. When you go hit the exhibit hall, you can see here, remember we talked about those career clusters? Well, hopefully these will look familiar to you as your career clusters. Now you see that there's only 3 different hallways here. So we have combined some of those career clusters into one hallway. So let's say you want to go to the health and science, human services and resources. Click on that and it's going to take you to this hallway. And then this is what's going to come up. You'll be able to scroll through the different companies that are in this, scroll back. You can come down here and look at the exhibitors, the actual company names, or the university and colleges that are in here. And when you click on, I'm just going to click on this one. When you click on here, you can see where you're able to see some videos and then some documents. If you look at this over here on the right-hand side, you see where there's a virtual bag. So let's say that I'm interested in this video on this company, but I don't have time to view it right now. I'm going to put it in my virtual bag, and then at a later time when I'm able to have some time to do that, I can come back up here and click on my virtual bag, and I will find it in my virtual bag. So this is a shortcut way for you to be able to find resources. And then if you don't have time and you're thinking, oh, I don't remember what that was, you're able to put this in your virtual bag and be able to look through it. So this is, again, just kind of a quick little overview of the site. I hope that you do, if you have additional questions, look at that longer extended video there. One other thing that I just thought about is here where it says Q&A. This is not open at this time. This was part of our live event. However, if you do have questions for a specific company, if you will go ahead and type your question in and hit send, we do have someone monitoring these sites. And so they will send your question to the company and try to get a response for you. So even though this is not immediate, it is something that you can still take advantage of. So I hope that you enjoy your time on this site. Please spend as much much time as you possibly can. This is something that you can access from home, you can access from school. And so please don't just take the time when you're in your school setting to do this, because there's so much wonderful information on this site. So enjoy your career exploration fair, and I will be back in touch with you for the reflections part of it. Have a great time.